ॐ दक्षिणास्य समारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता स्मर्या गुरुपरम्परा श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। परिज्ञानाश्रम श्रीगुरुशङ्कर परिज्ञानाश्रम शङ्कर सद्गुरु केशववामन कृष्णपाण्डुरङ्ग आनन्द परिज्ञान गुरु सद्यो जात शङ्कर सद्गुरु गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्त गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. So in the last session, we saw all about the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, which are called as the fourfold qualifications to prepare one's mind for getting into the Vedanta Shravanam. Now, as I said in the last session, Vedanta is something which we are not normally used to, and our intellects are not exposed to that particular aspect of our scriptures. And therefore, initially, I may have to have a lot of shraddha in what I'm listening to. And the Guru plays a very, very great role here in creating and maintaining a sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikari's shraddha also. So here what is said here is, once a person has sufficient sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, as I said in the last session, we need not wait for 100% sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. It may not be possible because there is nothing called as a perfect Vedanta student. There's nothing like that. All of us, yes, we have certain amount of sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. If we have it sufficient enough to keep us committed to the pursuit of Vedanta, that should be more than enough. That is what is generally talked about when we talk about sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. And what the Shastra says is, once I have lived an alert life and tried to develop these fourfold qualifications in the form of Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, and Mumukshutvam. Once I've had this, then the next step is that I should go to a guru and ask for this knowledge. Why should I go to a guru and ask for this knowledge? Now, this is a knowledge which is so subtle and which I am not used to, and I need somebody to actually tell me or open up the words of the Shastra for me. We have seen it in Bhagavad Gita also. Arjuna surrenders to Krishna, Shishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapanam, and asks for this knowledge because this is one knowledge where no other thing can give me this knowledge. There is nothing else which can give me this knowledge except Vedanta Pramana, scriptural Pramana. It is only our scriptures, it is only Vedanta, which is the only Pramana. Pramana means a means of knowledge. For other things, I may have means of knowledge, other somebody hearsay. I can listen to some hearsay thing that also can give me knowledge. I can watch certain channels, some news channel, something, I can get some knowledge out of that. I can read some paperbacks, whatever is available, some books, and I can get some knowledge out of it. Common knowledge, Laukika knowledge, maybe it is possible. But Vedanta knowledge is something which is not possible to be got by any other means of knowledge. And it is absolutely necessary that I go only to Vedanta for this knowledge of Atman. Atmagnana, Brahmagnana is something which can be given only by Vedanta Pramana. That is why it is considered as a Pramana. That means what? A valid source or a valid, proof of knowledge. This is something which can give me that which I really have to know. And pramana means it is a valid means by which whatever is the right thing that I have to know, I will know it through the Shastra Pramana. Why can't I study this independently? There are so many things which I study independently. Is it possible for me to study this also, Vedanta also independently? As I said in the some sessions earlier, that Bhagwan Shankaracharya himself in Mundaka Upanishad Bhashyam says that Shastrajnaha api ब्रह्म विचारम स्वातंत्र्यात न कुर्यात स्वातंत्र्येण न कुर्यात स्वातंत्र्येण means independently nobody should do this brahma vichara स्वातंत्र्येण brahma vicharam na kuryat. Even a scholar, he advises that you may be a scholar in the language, you may be a scholar in tarka shastra, you may be a scholar in the mimamsa shastra, but it doesn't mean that you are going to really understand what is told in the shastra correctly, because the shastra or our scriptures have a way of putting things in a very cryptic way. Many times it so happens that we may find that the shastras are confusing us, they're contradicting each other. Many times we find that two Upanishads are talking about things which are contradicting each other. Therefore, many times we can mistake one for the other. We can also, take something which is absolutely not meant by the Shastra. That is why it is said that agrahanam is better than anyatha grahanam. Agrahanam means if I don't understand, it's okay. I'm already ignorant. I continue to be ignorant. So it doesn't matter if I don't understand what the Shastra says. But if I understand it wrongly, then for me also it is not the right thing, and I may spread this knowledge to other people also without my knowing it properly. Therefore, after sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, Bhagwan Shankaracharya in Vivekachudamani says one should approach a teacher. One should approach a teacher, or one should approach a guru. Instead of teacher, we'll say an acharya or a guru. Who is a guru? Grinati upadishati iti guru. The one who catches or who gets whatever has to be got from the Shastra and communicates it in the right manner to the student. That is the role of a guru, because Shastra has to be communicated properly. Whatever is the meaning of the words of the Shastra has to be communicated properly. The words of the Shastra are like locked up and they have to be opened up by a guru. It is only a guru who is a sampradaya with guru, a person who has studied Vedanta under a Guru Shishya Parampara. Such a person, such a guru only can communicate this knowledge very efficiently to the Shishya. The Shishya is already confused. The Shishya is already ignorant, and the Guru should not add on to the confusion above ignorance. The purpose of the Guru is to see that whatever delusions or confusions the student has, that has to be removed and the right knowledge has to be given. And for this Guru is trained by a particular parampara, like we have our Mat parampara, 300-year-old parampara, that the Shishya has learned from his Guru, and that Guru has learned from his Guru, and so there is a Sampradaya. There is a particular mechanism by which a person, a Guru, has learned how to open up the words of the Shastra and how to communicate the words of the Shastra to the Shishya. This is something which has been learned, and this is something which has to be learnt in a Guru Parampara. Otherwise, what happens? A person, a Guru, may give his own philosophy. It can happen. In the name of talking about Vedanta, if a teacher, if a guru who is not coming from Guru Shishya Parampara, a Sampradaya with Guru, if he doesn't come from Sampradaya, it is possible that such a guru can try to, spread his own ideas about what he thinks. There are instances like that, there are cases like that where the gurus may have their own way of talking, spreading whatever, knowledge in whatever way they have understood. Now, this is called as an Andha Parampara. Andha Parampara means where this is not shastrically or by Shastra, it is not proved. It is something which is taken up by a particular person by his own experience or whatever it is, and he wants to talk whatever is his philosophy. That is not the thing, because in communicating the Shastra, originality is not there. There is no question of originality here at all in passing on the message of the Shastra. When one passes on the message of the Shastra, the Guru has to pass on however he got it from his Guru. And that is why a Sampradaya with Guru, a Guru who has come under the traditional teaching of Guru Shishya Parampara, is the Guru which one has to actually approach. And so, what kind of a Guru it is, what kind of characteristics a Guru should have and a Guru has, this is always going to be talked about in the next few verses, where how one should approach a Guru. In Bhagavad Gita, also in the fourth chapter, we saw Tad vidhi pranipatena परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनः तत्त्वदर्शिनः. Bhagwan Krishna said, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashtena. You want to know this Atma Anatma Viveka? You want to know what this Brahman is? You want to have moksha, mukti, or you want to be free from this samsara? Then you might go to a guru. You have to go to a guru. Tadvidhi. May you know this knowledge. May you understand this. By what? Pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. So how should you do that? You should go Gurumeva abhigachet. Mundakopanishad said, Tad vijnanartham saha gurumeva abhigachet. That means what? For this knowledge, one must go to a guru, one must surrender to a guru, and pariprashnena and sevaya. By serving the guru and asking the right questions at the right time, one has to ask for this knowledge. Therefore, many people say, why did Krishna not give this knowledge to Dharmaputra or Bhima or Nakula, Sahadeva, or even Bhishmacharya, Dronacharya? Because they didn't ask for it. Even though it was a battlefield, Arjuna asked for this knowledge. Because he asked for it, he got it. Therefore, it is a rule in Vedanta that unless the Shishya asks for this knowledge is not supposed to be given. And so, for the next few verses, what is the meaning of Guru Upasadanam? Upasadanam means approaching a Guru. What is the meaning of Guru Upasadanam? How should a particular Shishya approach a Guru? What are the characteristics of a Guru which make a Guru a Guru? And how does he give this knowledge? All these things are going to be talked about, and how this person, how the Shishya, you know, gives his problem, how he, shares his problem with the Guru and asks for help from the Guru. All these things are talked about. Now let's go to the 32nd verse here, where the Guru Upasadanam or approaching the Guru is talked about. Here he says, Ukta sadhana sampannaha tattva jignyasuratmanaha upasidet gurum pragnyam yasmad bandha vimokshanam. So he said, Ukta sadhana sampannaha. This person who has got sufficient sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. Whatever sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, the fourfold qualifications that were talked about so far in the last session, we saw all the four sadhana chatushtaya sampattis we talked about. A person who has sufficient enough sadhana chatushtaya sampatti to go to Vedanta Shravanam has to go for what purpose? Tattva Jignasuhu Atmanaha. Atmanaha Tattva Jignasuhu. A person who is interested in knowing what is the Tattva, what is the reality, what is the truth of this so called Brahman or Atman. What is this Atma? What is this Anatma? I have no idea about what this is and I want to know about it. I have heard that knowing the Tattvam of this individual, knowing the Tattvam of Jagat, knowing the Tattvam of Ishvara or God, Tattva of Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, when I know I'm going to be free from this. This is the mumuksha that a person has. He's a mumukshu, that he wants to be free from this samsara. And then he knows also that he must know the truth of Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, the Tattva, the truth of Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. And for that, Tattva Jignasuhu Atmanaha. Atmanaha Tattva Jignasuhu, the one who is interested in knowing the tattva, the one who wants to know what this the whole thing is about. What is it that the Upanishads are talking about the Atman, about Brahman? What is it that is being talked about? Such a person who is a jignasuhu. Jignasuhu means what? Jnatum ichuhu. A person who is interested in knowing is called as Jignasuhu. Interest in knowing is called Jignasa. A person who is interested in knowing is called as a Jignasuhu. Like Mumuksha and Mumukshu. A person who wants freedom, this wanting freedom, desiring freedom from samsara, Mumuksha. And a person who desires this freedom is called as a Mumukshu. And for getting this freedom from samsara, what is it that I want to know? That subject matter which I want to know, I must know that. That is Jignasa. And a person who is interested in knowing this, he is a Jignasuhu. So here he says, Tattva Jignasuhu Atmanaha. This person who is not simply interested, but who is deeply committed to knowing the Tattvam of Atma, who's committed to knowing this, who is deeply interested in understanding it, what he should do? Upasidet Gurum. May he approach a Guru. What kind of a Guru is he? Pragnyam. Pragnyam means a person who has the knowledge which is unfolded by the Shastra. The Guru who is knowledgeable. A Guru should have studied the Shastra himself or herself. Otherwise, it is not possible to give away this knowledge. See, first of all, to understand what the Shastra says, I have to come through a Guru Shishya Parampara. And communicating this knowledge, having known what the Shastra says, having learned from the Guru Parampara, how to communicate this knowledge so that the confusion and delusion of the Shishya is gone, this also requires a lot of preparation and talent on the part of the Guru. And therefore, he says, Upaside Gurum Pragnyam. Pragnya means the one who has the knowledge of the Vedas, the Vedantic knowledge, at the same time who has got the capacity to communicate whatever he knows. Because many times we have seen, even in the Laukika Vijnana, in the Laukika, knowledge, we have seen a person may be an excellent person in his field of knowledge. A person may be a gold medalist in his field of knowledge, but when it comes to teaching, he is just not able to teach. There are musicians who are wonderful performers, but they can't teach. There may be musicians who are wonderful teachers, but they are not good performers. So, here, what it requires in Vedanta is the Guru should be both. He should be a Tattvavit also, the one who has understood the Tattva. He should be a Brahmavit also, the one who has understood what this Brahman is. And at the same time, he should be able to communicate whatever he knows. So, Bandha Vimokshanam, for Yasmat Bandha Vimokshanam, for Bandha Vimokshanam, which is the ultimate goal of this Mumukshu, to get free from this samsara. Such a Mumukshu who has sufficient sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, need not be 100%, as we discussed, sufficient sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, may he approach a guru, upasidet gurum. And this guru should be what kind of guru? Shrotriyam brahmanishtam guru. That is what is going to be talked about in the next verse, in the 33rd verse. What kind of a guru? Pragnyam. Pragnya means he's a not only a scholar, but he is a Brahmavit. He is a Tattvavit. He knows what the Shastra says. He has learnt it from his gurus, and he knows what is to be given, how it is to be given. See, a guru may know so many things, but how much is to be given? What is to be given? When a shishya is coming for the first time, or whether the shishya is sufficiently prepared or not, what kind of a knowledge does this shishya need? How much should I give? How much prepared is the shishya for getting this? And all these things the guru has to assess. Straight away, the first time the guru comes, he cannot give the Mahavakya Vichara. Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi. He cannot give the Mahavakya Vichara. He has to start from again Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. He has to start from Atma Anatma Viveka. He has to start with Tvampada Vichara first. Then he has to go to Tatpada Vichara. Then he has to go to the Mahavakya Vichara. Just like what Lord Krishna did in Bhagavad Gita. What did he do in the first 6 chapters? He talked about Tvampada Vichara. What is Tvampada Vichara? Who are you? What is the Jiva? And how do you know yourself? What are the sadhanas to understand what you are? What is the Jiva Swarupam? How to understand that? What is necessary for this? What is Karma Yoga? How you prepare your mind with Karma Yoga? with chitta shuddhi. And then how do you understand this atma anatma viveka as to whether you are the body mind sense complex or not? So first 6 chapters Lord Krishna dealt with only tvam pada vichara, as to what is a jiva. Then in the next 6 chapters he dealt with what? Ishvara swarupam tatpada vichara. Only from 13th chapter onwards he dealt with the abheda, jiva Brahma Abheda. He dealt with only from the 13th chapter onwards. That means what? Lord Krishna knew, after all, he's an avatara and he's, he's a Jagat Guru. So he knew how to give and what to give to Arjuna, how he should start. So the Guru should know what kind of a Shishya has come to me, what is his level of preparation, how should I start, from where should I start? Should I start from Tattva Bodha or should I start from Taittiriya Upanishad? So, all these things is something that a guru has to know. So, what kind of a guru is it that one has to approach? What are the characteristics of a guru? What is the personality of a guru when he is approached? Why is this given? Now, many of these characteristics of a guru may be the internal characteristics of the guru. And for a shishya, it is very difficult to judge whether this guru I am going to is the right guru or not. But then at least one or two points of what this particular verse tells, the Shisha is capable of understanding in making a decision whether I should go to this particular Guru or not. So, what are the characteristics of a Guru which a Shisha should look for in any Guru before he surrenders to the Guru? So, what are they? He says, श्रोत्रियो वृजिनो कामहतो यो ब्रह्मवित्तमः ब्रह्मण्युपरतः शान्तः निरिन्धन इवानलः अहेतुकदया सिन्धुः बन्धुरानमतां सताम्. This is the 33rd verse. Now, what does he say? He says, this person, this guru should be a Shrotriya. A Shrotriya means what? Who has done Shravanam from his guru and who has understood what is the purport, what is the central teaching of Vedanta. So, such a person who knows the content of the Vedas and the content of what is to be taught and how it is to be taught, the methodology of teaching he has learned from a particular sampradaya or parampara, such a person is called as a Shrotriyaha. Of course, there is something called as Brahmanishtaha. Later on, he comes here also. In Mundaka Upanishad, Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam, he says. The one who is abiding in this knowledge. Abiding in this knowledge in the form of Aham Brahmasmi iti, he is abiding in this knowledge. But then here, it may be very difficult sometimes to find a Shrotriya and a Brahmanishta Guru. At least it should be a Shrotriya Guru. It is said that a person may be a Brahmanishtaha, a person may be a realized person, a person may be a Jnani, he may be abiding in his Jnanam, Atma Jnanam, he may be a Sthita Prajna, but he may not have the capacity to teach. For that reason, one should be a Shrotriya, because the teaching of Vedanta involves certain prakriyas, certain modules. There are different ways of teaching Vedanta Shastra. They are called as prakriyas. They are called as modules. There may be what is called as the Karana Karya Prakriya. There may be Drik Drishya Prakriya. There may be Avasthatraya Prakriya. There may be Panchakosha Prakriya. Sad Asad Prakriya. Atma Anatma Prakriya. So these Prakriya means what? A module or a methodology. So these are all the methods by which Atma Jnana has to be taught, depending upon whatever is the preparation of the Shishya who comes to and surrenders to the Guru. So the Guru has to be a Shrotriya. A Shrotriya is the person who knows what the Shastra says and how to communicate what he knows to the Shishya. Such a person is called a Shrotriya, and he is a Sampradaya with Guru. All these three things should be there in a Shrotriya. A person who understands what the Shastra says, a person who knows how to communicate using the appropriate prakriya or module of teaching, and who has come through a Guru Shishya Parampara. Such a Guru is called as Shrotriyaha. Then the next one, Avrajinaha. That means Paparahitaha. A person who lives a life of dharma. because a person who is a teacher, who is a guru, and who lives an adharmic life may not be fit enough to be a guru. And therefore, he says, this person who is a Shrotriya has to lead a life of dharma. A dharmic lifestyle has to be led by such a person. So he is a person, apap, that is, he is the nishpapaha, a person who has not accrued any adharmic actions and papa as the result of adharmic action. So such a person is called avrajinaha. Shrotriyaha avrajinaha. Vrajina means papa. Avrajinaha means the one who does not have any kind of adharmic accrual of any papa karmas. A person who has avoided doing adharmic actions and papa karmas. He's a avrajinaha. Then akamahataha, the one who is not propelled by desires. Kamena hataha is kamahataha. That means a person who is completely propelled by only desire, personal benefit. Because Vedanta is something which has to be taught without considering any kind of a personal benefit that a guru can get from a shishya. It is supposed to be taught free of cost. It is supposed to be taught in such a way that in Gurukulam also, nobody expected the Shishya to pay the Guru Dakshina at that time. When the Shishya learnt whatever he had to learn in the Gurukulam, and when he left the Gurukulam, then he got something and gave it as Guru Dakshina to run the institution or run the Gurukulam further. Therefore, here, akamahataha, na kamena hataha, a person who is not propelled by personal desire for name, fame, money, wealth. No, it is not that. Here, a Vedanta teacher is supposed to be giving out whatever he knows. It's a punya that he's doing. He's helping a Shisha to cross over the samsara sagara, samsara arnava. We'll see that in the future verses also. Therefore, he is a person who should not be propelled by any kind of a desire for self promotion, self fame, name, or getting any kind of material benefits out of this teaching Vedanta. So, such a person who is not propelled by kama, such a person is called as akamahataha. So, he should be a shrotriya, he should be avrajinaha, he should be akamahataha, yo brahmavittamaha. This person is a brahmanishtaha. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam Abhigachet, Mundakopanishad says. So, having seen that I am troubled by this samsara and I want to get free from this samsara, such a person, a sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikari, may he approach a guru who is a Shrotriya Brahmanishta guru. Shrotriya Brahmanishta, the one who is abiding in this knowledge, for whom this knowledge is not merely for teaching, for whom this knowledge is a reality, and a person who is abiding in this knowledge, the one out of Shraddha and one out of true understanding, he is abiding in this knowledge, a sthita prajna. So, Brahmavittamaha. Brahmavittamaha means the knower of Brahman, an exalted knower of Brahman, the one who knows what this Brahman is and abides in this knowledge. He, the Guru, should be a Brahmavittamaha. Then what? Brahmani uparataha. He is totally absorbed in this knowledge of Brahman. He is totally absorbed in the abidance in this Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi iti, that's knowledge, has become such a truth for him. He is constantly abiding in this knowledge. Does it mean that he doesn't do anything else? He does. He may be a grahastha. He may be a brahmachari. He may be a person who is working also. He may be doing whatever he has to do depending upon his prarabdha. Even then, whenever he is not doing anything, whenever he is free, he is all the time abiding in his Atma Swarupa. Even in his transactions, whenever he is doing transactions also, wherever he is sarvatha vartamanopi, in whichever situation he is, in whatever way he has to fulfill these duties in this jagat, he or she does not forget this particular knowledge. All the time he is connected to this particular knowledge, and therefore Brahmani Uparataha. He's Brahmani Uparataha, the one who's withdrawn, the one who's Uparama. We talked about it. Last session we saw what is Uparamaha? Withdrawing the mind and the sense organs into the object of your focus, to be there constantly. Samadhana also is a kind of Uparama only. Uparama and Samadhana are very close to each other, where we don't allow the mind and the sense organs to keep going out unnecessarily. Whenever it is necessary, whenever a certain vyavahara has to be done, the mind and sense organs, they will do the vyavahara. But when it is not necessary, the person is abiding in his own true self, Atmajnanam. So, Brahmani Uparataha Shantaha. He's quiet, Shantaha, Shamanvitaha. Shantaha means mind wise, he's Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti has become his character now. For a mumukshu, sadhana chatushtaya sampatti like Shama, Dama, Uparama, Shamadhi, Shatka sampatti, one has to try for this. But for a jnani, they are the natural characteristics of a jnani. He's shantaha. He's not disturbed. He's not all the time going here and there, running after these things. It is not that. He's shantaha. Nirandhana iva analaha. Analaha means fire. When you stop feeding the fire, the flames just die away, and what remains are the embers. Correct? The embers, and the embers are very quiet, isn't it? When the fire is actually burning and the flames are there, it is not only burning and continuously, it is jumping about. At the same time, you can hear the spattering sound, the splitting sound of that. Whereas when feeding of the fire is stopped, when we stop putting any indhana, oil or ghee or anything, when we stop feeding the fire, what happens? The flames of the fire die away, and then there are embers. For a long time, the fire is there in the form of embers. That is why the embers, they look like what? They are orange in color. They're silent, they're quiet, and the embers are not expecting any more indhana to be fed into them, and they're just there shining in a very, very orange hue. They are shining. That is why it is said that the kashaya vastra of a sannyasi, the kashaya of a jnani sannyasi, represents this nirandhana iva analaha. That is the reason why the sannyasis wear ochre color robes. Ochre color robes or orange color robes are very much, or remind one of, completely fulfilling all one's, desires, no more desires, not waiting for any indhana to feed my desires. So, like that, this person is Shantaha. Nirindhana means no more feeding. It's like fire which has been doused, but only embers are there. So, this is the state of the mind of this Guru. Nirindhana iva analaha, like fire which is no longer jumping around in flame, quiet, silent as embers. This is the state of mind of the Guru, silent and quiet, not getting disturbed unnecessarily by anything. So, for this person, Viveka, Vairagya, Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Samadhanam, all these are natural characteristics. For a guru, for a jnani guru, they are natural characteristics. If a person is a guru and if he doesn't have these characteristics, it means he is not a jnani guru. Therefore, to some extent, these characteristics of the guru will help also the shishya to understand what kind of a guru he is approaching. So, nirandhana iva analaha, and what else? He is ahetuka daya sindhuhu. He is ahetuka daya sindhu. That means he is a compassionate person towards the shishya without any reason. Without any reason. Ahetuka. Without any reason. He is an ocean of compassion. Why? Because he knows what the shishya is going through. What samsara the shishya is going through, he has also gone through that before. What is the delusion and the ignorance of the shishya, he's also gone through that before. Why the shishya is coming and asking for this knowledge, and what is his desire to be free from this samsara, he has also gone through this before. Therefore, this Guru is a ahetuka daya sindhu. He's an ocean of compassion, fully understands the situation that the Shishya is, and he's willing to do whatever is necessary to be done. He's willing to go all the way to teach this Shishya the sadhanas that are necessary to prepare himself and also give him this knowledge. He's ahetuka daya sindhu and bandhuhu. He's a bandhu. He's like a friend. He's like a close relative. A guru is very close to the shishya. He's almost like his bandhu, like an elder brother. It could be like an elder sister, a bandhu. He's a bandhu who then anamatam satam. He's like a bandhu to the one who surrenders to him. That is why when Arjuna said, Shishyasteham shadimam svam prapanna, 18 chapters Bhagwan Krishna taught. Again and again, the same question Arjuna asked, but without getting irritated. How many times Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga were explained? In the 18th chapter, three times Karma Yoga, three times Jnana Yoga was summarized again and again and again. Not once did Lord Krishna show any signs of irritation or anger or anything like that. And at the same time, only because Arjuna had surrendered to him, Shishyasteham Shadimam. So the one who had surrendered, that is when Anamata means Prapannam, the one who is surrendered to the Guru. The Guru is Ahetuka Daya Sindhuhu. Therefore, Krishna also, if you see, was Ahetuka Daya Sindhuhu. And how much he motivated Arjuna. Priyosi me, you are no, you are very close to me. You are my mitra, you are my priya. That is why I am giving this. Hey Arjuna, hey Mahabaho, O Kuru Pravira, O Kuru Sattamaha. He encouraged him in so many ways because he wanted to give this knowledge. It is only because of compassion. So he is a bandhuhu, a hetuka daya sindhuhu, and then also he is anamatam satam bandhuhu, those who surrender to him. Surrender to him not for any material benefits. Those who surrender to him for material benefits, he may bless them. If a person goes and asks this guru that something is wrong with my family and my health is not okay and I have problems and all that, this person may bless him. Definitely he'll bless him. He said, I will pray for you. Your problems will be all right and you will be all right, and he may bless. But beyond that, he cannot do anything. A person who goes to him with material desires may not be benefited by this kind of a guru. Who gets benefited? Who surrenders to this person for Atmajnanam? Who surrenders to this guru for Atmajnanam, for getting out of this samsara? Such a person, such a shishya only, this guru will be beneficial. So, bandhuranamatam, bandhuhu anamatam satam, he is a bandhu and he is a person who is willing to give everything whatever is necessary in the form of knowledge, in the form of teaching, proper way of teaching to this shishya. Then what should we do next? What should a person do now? You may ask, it's a, how will I know when, if I'm a shishya and I'm going to a guru asking for this knowledge, how will I know whether the guru has all these characteristics? Because many of these characteristics are internal characteristics. For example, brahmani uparataha. Now, whether he is abiding in his atmajnanam or not, how do I know? I don't know. Shantaha, whether his state of mind is shantaha, is he a very angry person or is he a very calm person? Ahetuka daya sindhuhu. What is the level of his compassion? Is he compassionate towards me? All this, how will I understand? Unless I live with the Guru, unless I surrender to the Guru, and unless I have a constant contact with the Guru, I'm not going to know these things. Then what can I look for? At least a Shrotriya Guru. Let me look for a Guru who has gone through this parampara teaching, a person who is a sampradaya with Guru, who has come through a particular Guru Shishya parampara and who is teaching it. This is easy for me to know. And also, certain things like, Etuka Shanta, to some extent, the demeanor of the person, how the characteristic of the person, to some extent, the only thing because I, when I approach a guru as a shishya, I am totally ignorant. I have no idea of what it is. The only thing I can look for is he a Shrotriya Guru? Whether he's a Brahmanishta or all, not also, there is no way of knowing. Whether I am a Brahmanishta or not, whether you are a Brahmanishta or not, who can make out that? It is only for me to know whether I am abiding in this knowledge. It is for you to know whether you are abiding in this knowledge. So it is not possible for the Shishya to find out, because most of the characters given here are the internal characteristics of a guru. But why Shankaracharya is saying that this is the one who is an ideal guru for a Shishya. And when a Shishya goes to a guru, at least the basic minimum qualification of the guru should be that he should not be professing his own philosophy. He should be teaching Vedanta in the traditional way, the way it is traditionally taught. There is no question of having any kind of an originality here. It may be many people say, what is this? Vedanta gurus are like, they are just like parrots, they're parroting out. But that's not the thing. Whatever has to be taught, the same way it has to be taught. But how you put it in words, it is yours. You may not use the guru's words. You may not use the same words that the guru taught you. You may use different words, but the content is to be the same. What prakriya I use when, what module of teaching I use when, it is the same thing. It is sampradaya. It has to come in that chain of parampara. That's why we say Asmadacharya Paryantam, Shankaracharya Madhyama, Asmadacharya Paryanta, Smarya Guru Parampara. So that Guru Parampara from which I have come, such a person only can be a Shrotriya Guru, which a student or a Shishya can easily find out. And once the Shishya surrenders to this Guru for this knowledge, what should he do then? It is told in the 34th verse. He says, Tamaradhya Gurum Bhaktya Prahva Prashraya Sevanaihi Prasannam Tamanuprapya Prachegnyatavyamaatmanaha. So here he says, what should he do? Tam Aradhya. Once the Shisha has surrendered to the Guru, he has to worship the Guru. Surrender, do namaskara. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Pranipatena, surrendering to the Guru, doing namaskara to the Guru, showing his willingness to be humble enough to learn from the Guru. What is the meaning of pranipata? When I touch the feet of the Guru, what is the meaning of that? That is, I'm showing my readiness. I'm showing my humility. I'm showing that I'm humble enough. I don't know something, but I'm humble enough to learn from you. And I sit down at the feet of the Guru, because Jnana Ganga flows from a higher level to a lower level. From a known intellect, from an intellect which knows this Jnanam, it has to flow down to an intellect which does not know any of this. Therefore, Tam Aradhya. So, this particular Shishya has to be ready to serve and to worship the Guru, because Guru is Brahma. That's why we say Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurureva or Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. Because he is telling you what that Brahman is, what that Param Brahman is, what this Ishvara is. That knowledge is being given by this Guru, and therefore he is none other than the Trinity Brahma Vishnu. He is none other than Ishvara for me. That is why in most of the Mangalacharana shlokas, in all the Prakarana Granthas, there are shlokas which give their, namaskaras to the Guru and to Ishvara. Ishvara God. So here a Guru is considered equivalent to Ishvara, because it is Ishvara's Jnanam. Of course, Bhagwan Krishna has come, he is Lord himself who has come in the form of a teacher. But every teacher is considered to be a manifestation of Ishvara. Therefore, Tam Gurum Aradhya. Gurum Tam Aradhya Bhaktya. Bhaktya means here with a sense of love and surrender. Not trying to test the Guru, not trying to always find fault with the Guru as to what he's doing, what he's not doing. No, Bhaktya, with commitment, with that kind of a worshipfulness, with the humility to worship the Guru and see Ishvara in that Guru, with bhakti, with surrender. Bhaktya Prahva Prashraya Sevanaihi. In what way can I show that I am willing to learn from this? Shushrushah, or Guru Seva, whatever is necessary to be done, whatever needs to be done in the Gurukulam, or if not Gurukulam today, in today's world, Gurukulams may not be there. Whatever I can do, to help the Guru in whatever way we want. Seva. Shushrushah is also called Seva, Shrotu Micha, because ultimately, in return to all this, I am getting this knowledge. See, this knowledge is so important that I have to be willing to do something in return for this knowledge. And what is it that I do in return for this knowledge? I surrender to the Guru with bhakti. I worship the Guru as none other than Ishvara. Bhaktya tam gurum aradhya prahva prahva prashraya sevanaihi. In whatever way the Guru wants, in whatever way it is necessary for me to serve the Guru, so that some service is done. Kaika karma is absolutely necessary. You see, that's why I think I have told this particular story which comes in the Upanishads, in Chandogya Upanishad, that Lord Indra, who is a Devendra, and the Lord of Asuras, both of them, Virochana, both of them went to Chaturmukha Brahma, Prajapati Brahma, for this knowledge. And do you know what Chaturmukha Brahma did? He said, both of you serve in my ashram for 25 years. After that only I will ask what you want. I will answer your question. I know you have come asking for something. You want to know something from me. You have come to me, but you serve in my ashram for 25 years. Indra, who is the Lord of gods, who is the Raja of all the deities, Swargaloka Raja, he has to serve Prajapati Brahma for 25 years before he asks this question, what is this Brahman? So if Indra and Asura Raja Virochana have to serve, Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma or Prajapati Brahma in exchange for this knowledge, what about people like us? So he says, Prahva Prashraya Sevanaihi, adequately, appropriately rendering services to the Guru, whatever is necessary. Prasannam tam anuprapya. Prasannostu Guru Sada, we say at the end when we conclude the concluding prayer. Let the Guru be prasanna. When the Guru is prasanna, when the Guru is happy with me, whatever he wants to give comes out unhindered. If I have made the Guru unhappy, if because of me the Guru is disturbed, how can he give whatever has to be given with a disturbed mind? So, prasannam tam anuprapya, with my surrender, with my bhakti, with my service, whatever it is, whatever service, it doesn't mean whatever is necessary, appropriate rendering services to the Guru in whatever way it is necessary. Tam prasannam anuprapya Priched Jnatavyam Atmanaha. Then you ask this question about whatever you want to know. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Pariprashnena. Pariprashnena means what? A proper question, an appropriate question. Pariprashna means what? Asking this question for my sake to know an appropriate question, not to test the Guru, not to test whether the Guru knows something or not. No, I want to know something, and I know that you have an answer for what I want, and therefore I surrender to you, O Guru, and I ask you this appropriate question, not some inappropriate question. An appropriate question I ask the Guru and ask for this and say what I pritched Jnatavyam Atmanaha. Jnatavyam Atmanaha. What is to be known? Jnatavyam. Atman is to be known. Brahman is to be known. Brahman is Jnatavyam, that which is to be known. Atmanaha, Jnatavyam Atmanaha Priched. So tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena, it is the exactly the same thing. May you ask the question. And one thing is there, just because I ask the question, the Guru need not immediately answer my question, because the Guru may find that for this question, if I answer this Shishya now, nothing will get in. Therefore, I must ask him to do certain sadhanas, after which probably this question can be answered. Therefore, the Guru may consider that question fit enough to be answered or not it depends upon the Guru. Just because I have surrendered to the Guru with bhakti and asked my appropriate question, it doesn't mean at all that the Guru should immediately give me answer to my question. Sometimes I may get an indirect answer, an answer which the question which I have never asked. I may get an answer in a very different way, which makes me to think and rephrase my question, reform my question. Therefore, I cannot expect that as soon as I ask for this Brahma, what is Atma? you know Please explain to me aham brahmasmi or tattvamasi. The Guru may not do it, because the Guru knows what is to be given, how much is to be given, when it is to be given, how to start the teaching, in what with what prakriya one should start the teaching. He knows everything. So once I have surrendered to the Guru and asked my question that, hey Guru, I want to know, I want this freedom from samsara, and what should I do for this? I have heard that knowing this Brahman, understanding the relationship between me and Brahman, understanding that I am not different from Brahman, I am free from samsara, I think I have heard, but I don't know about it yet. Can you please explain to me? This is my question if I ask. And then the Guru may choose to answer then or later. And how do I put forth whatever I want to put forth? There is in the next, in the 36th verse, how a Shishya can, express his, dukkha. He's a dukhi. Otherwise, he won't go to a guru asking for this knowledge. He's scorched by the samsara, by the bondage of samsara. And at any cost, the Shishya wants freedom from this samsara. And that is the reason why he has gone to the Guru. So, how does he present his problem? That is going to be talked about in 2, 3 verses. But here we are going to take only one verse, as to, because in Vivekachudamani, very poetically, Bhagwan Shankaracharya explains in 3 to 4 verses how the Shishya, gives or presents his problem to the Guru. But here, since we are taking only 108 verses, in this, one of the verses in which the Shishya explains his problem is talked about in the 36th verse. He says, Durvara samsara davagni taptam दोधूयमानं दुरदृष्टवातैः भीतं प्रपन्नं परिपाहि मृत्योः शरण्यमन्यं यदहं न जाने. So here he is expressing what his problem is. What is the Shishya telling? He says, Durvara samsara davagni taptam. I am scorched by the forest fire of samsara. Davagni means forest fire. Forest fire, why is he comparing this, samsara tapa with forest fire? Because forest fire is something which is huge, number one, and it is very difficult to put it off. A simple fire may be easy to put out, whereas a forest fire is something which is very difficult to douse. So he says, Durvara, a fire which is difficult to really gotten rid of, Durvara, Samsara, Davagni Taptam, Davagni, the forest fire of Samsara. This samsara is like a forest, correct? It is like a huge forest because I'm lost in it. What is the meaning of a forest where I can easily get lost and I won't know how to come out of it? And this samsara is like that. I have come into this samsara. I want to reach moksha, but I have got lost in samsara here only. I have got lost, come back again. Every life I come back, get lost in the forest of samsara, keep coming back again and again. I never seem to have crossed this forest because every time I come here, every time I take birth and come, I'm surrounded by the forest fire. I'm just not able to escape from this forest fire. So, Durvara, difficult to douse, difficult to get rid of. This Durvara Samsara Davagni Taptam, samsara tapa. That is why samsara is called as tapa. That is why there are 3 types of tapas, adhyatmika tapa, adhibhautika tapa, adhidaivika tapa. All these 3 tapas are called as samsara tapas. So I am afflicted by the tapa of my own body mind sense complex. I am afflicted by the tapa of Adi Bhautika, means people around me, the world around me also gives me tapa. Adi Daivam, my prarabdha also, unknown also, Daivam also, Kala also gives me tapa. Therefore, samsara tapa is like a big forest fire. And this forest fire is strengthened by what? Dodhuya manam duradrishta vataihi. Unfortunately, the winds of my prarabdha are strengthening this forest fire. I want to get out of this forest fire. I'm lost in the forest in the first place. Wherever I go, I find I'm surrounded by this forest fire. And every minute, this forest fire is getting stronger and stronger because, it is it is fanned by wind. Normally wind puts off the fire, but in forest fire winds actually help the forest fire in spreading. So here he says duradrishta vataihi. Duradrishta vataihi means by my prarabdha, my duradrishta or my prarabdha or my papa karmas, like vayu, like vata, like the winds of my prarabdha, they are actually worsening this tapa which is got out of samsara davagni. And who am I? Bhitam. I am afraid. Okay. And what am I afraid of? I am afraid of mrityu. Bhitam mrityoho. I am scared of mrityu. I am scared of death. Where I am going to die? I am suffering so much and I am scared of death. Bhitam. I am scared of samsara. I am scared of death. I am scared of coming back again and again. I don't know how to escape from this samsara. I only know that I am struggling, but I don't know how to come out. But I have heard, I know, I am born in a culture when I know that there is a way out of this samsara. This Davagni of samsara, there is a way out, I know. Therefore, hey Guru, I have come to you. Please help me. Bhitam prapannam. Okay. Prapannam. Shishyam steham shadimam tvam prapannam. Arjuna said in Bhagavad Gita. Same way here. Bhitam prapannam paripahi. Paripahi. Hey Guru, please protect me. I am scared. I am scared of this samsara davagni. Bhitam mrityoho. I am all the time, every minute, I am waiting for mrityu. Mrityu is waiting round the corner for me. And I am prapannam and I have come and surrendered to you. Sharanyam anyam yadaham na jane. I don't know anybody else. I don't know any other way. You are the only one I know. You are the Shrotriya Brahmanishta Guru who can definitely take me, hold my hand, and take me out of this, make me cross this samsara davagni. I don't know any other thing. Yadaham na jane, anyam yad aham na jane. I don't know anything else. I don't know anybody else. Sharanyam. I have come taking refuge into you. Paripahi. Hey Guru Paripahi, please protect me. I am scared of the samsara and I am scared of mrityu. Bhitam Paripahi mrityoho Sharanyam Anyam Yadaham na jane. I don't know any other abode of surrender. I have come to you. So, hey Guru, please protect me. Please help me to cross over this bondage and this tapa of samsara. This is how, in a very, very poetic manner, the Shishya is presenting his case. And naturally, the Guru being a Hetuka Daya Sindhuhu, a person who is nothing but an embodiment of compassion, who is an ocean of compassion, naturally is going to go all out. He's going to do everything possible to help this Shishya to cross the Davagni of the samsara fire. He's going to help this forest fire of samsara. Definitely, the Guru is going to help him. And further, there are further other things in the next 2 3 verses also, which we'll see in the next session as to what does a guru do, how does he actually help this shishya in knowing what is to be known. In the next 2 or 3 verses we'll see it in the next session. Om nandantu sadhaka sarve vinashyantu vidushakaha अवस्था शाम्भवी मेस्तु प्रसन्नोस्तु गुरुः सदा सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात् Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.